Hey everybody, we are Experiment Nation. My name is Jimmy Barber. I'm coming to you from Denver, Colorado, in the United States. I've got my notes down here. I've got my timer over here. My goal is to spend the next 7 to 8 minutes reasoning and arguing to you guys why I think we need more art in CRO. And so couple definitions. We're going to start off with CRO, conversion rate optimization, the process of increasing the percentage of users or website visitors to take a desired action. Art, the expression or application of human creative skill and imagination, producing works to be appreciated primarily for their beauty or emotional power. And so when I look at where CRO and experimentation are today, it is data. It is, A/B test, it's BC test, it's get 3% to 4% and try to get 4% to 5%. And it's super focused on the data and the implementations and the changes that we're making versus where they are or where they could be. And what I want to really introduce today is how do we bring more art into experimentation and CRO as a whole. And so let me explain what I mean with that. The fundamental challenge we have with CRO is that we are almost always operating or working off of a reference point. And so in A/B test, you're comparing a control under A to the experiment under B, and whether that's conversion rate, whether that's impressions, whether that's visitors, whether that's sessions, you name it, you're looking at where are things today, and if I implemented X, where would they be then? But you're almost always comparing one thing versus a reference point, and the challenge that I have is that reference point even actually the right reference point in which we should be looking at? Is the control really the control to be building off of? Or is it actually that we need to take a totally different look at how we are going about the process in which we're going to say, maybe we should flip the script and bring a little bit more art into kind of the science or technology that we've created? And so I think a great example of this is, Apple and the touchscreen phone. Apple wasn't the first touchscreen phone. They weren't even really the first company to delve into touchscreen software. But what they were is the first company to package it, to culminate it, and to create it in a way that evoked an emotion and a need from a consumer that the consumer didn't even know that they wanted or had a desire for. And I can't help but think that if CRO was alive and active in Apple in that way, that we would have just iterated the flip phone and iterated and made it a little bit better and a little bit better and a little bit better and tested this versus that and came out with this new feature, but we would have totally missed an entirely different technology or way to view the issue at hand. And so what I want to walk through as the solution of how do I see art being able to apply and have more of an influence in CRO and give you the ability to flip the script in the sense of how we're looking at things. And the way I think that I go about it is through what we call first principle doctrine, right? A basic proposition or assumption that cannot be deduced from any other proposition or assumption. And so, it is an origin. It is the truth. It is the one thing that everyone can agree upon as to the why in which we do or have the thing the way that it is. And so, for me, looking at CRO, it's continually asking yourself, what is the goal of what we're trying to optimize towards, and what is the why behind what we're doing? What is the why behind having a consumer on our page? What is the why behind having a shopper on our product site? And I think, a great example of this is the shopping cart. You take a shopping cart, actually, came from an in-store shopping experiment or an experience And you look at any site now online, Shopify, Amazon, you name it, and they all have shopping carts. But the origin of a shopping cart was actually for when you were at a store physically, so you didn't grab a product and check out. You picked it up, you put it in your cart, you picked one up, you put it in your cart, and you did that throughout the store. So that way at the end you could spend less time picking up products and checking out and check out everything at one time. But we've iterated that to now just be a shopping cart, but online, even though you have no actual need for the original use of a shopping cart. And now we have generations that are entering and spending more and more time shopping that are younger, and they've spent the majority of their time shopping online more so than they have in store. And so now we have the ability, I think, to flip the script and look at things maybe like a shopping cart in a way of what's the why behind what we're trying to achieve here. How do we instill something that we may not even be able to A/B test, but it has a little bit more art and a little bit more emotion and maybe a little bit more of a hunch behind it? And what I would argue is that sometimes we need to abandon that reference point and the reference point mentality as a whole of looking at how to get from 3 to 4 to 5, because there's actually a way bigger optimization that we could be making, but we're totally missing because we're so focused on 3 to 4 to 5. So that's my argument of why I think we need more art in CRO. And my goal is not to deduce CRO in A/B tests and experimentation as a whole, because it's so vital in what we do. But my hope is to promote a little bit more art in how we think about the way that we work and how we implement some of the changes that we do, looking through the lens of the first principles and understanding sometimes a little bit more art might actually be what we need to get the end result that we're going after. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed it.